not everyone gets paid to create something they are passionate about, but where do you see the value in people still pursuing their passions?
Yeah, well, so I've chosen to not put the weight of making money on my drum playing. Like, yeah, when I have gigs, I get paid, but I'm not really that concerned about like what I'm getting paid. If I get paid a modest amount and I get a couple of beers and a bowl of soup, like I'm happy as a clam. But it's nice that I don't have the weight of making money with that instrument, so that I can just enjoy it in a pure way. So that's kind of the other side of the coin for the non-professional creative, or for the pursuit that is a non-professional creative pursuit. You're the other side of it, where you do make money with your creative pursuit, and as a result, like the struggle is there to maintain the inspiration sometimes.
Right.
If you were just shooting on the side and you're doing business admin at some place, like you would experience your creative skill of photography in a vastly different way, right? It would just be
Okay.
purely what you want to shoot when you want to shoot it.
Right.
So I
I
think
don't know
that's
if I don't know if I would be shooting photo because I think for me having that constant need to actually shoot has actually kind of helped that too. I don't know. I mean, like I said, it's not always filled with passion, but you know, sometimes pursuing those things outside of work can be really hard. I mean, I was shooting concerts, so for me, like I kind of gave that up so I could be home with my family because I was for so long, I was just like you. I'm like, you get me in, and you'll give me like $50,
yeah.
do it. But it's like became the point of that ain't worth it if I'm not seeing my family.
Well,
So,
maybe if you like, weren't shooting professionally, maybe you'd make some time once a month, go to a gig and
right,
take snaps, just to keep it going as another creative outlet. Like you work with stones, like you collect things, all the things you do.
right. I think
Might make some time.
I probably would have switched my focus on photography. Maybe would have started shooting flowers in the backyard or something, because it's still shooting and I can be home or whatever.
Right.
Um, but I do think it is important for people to pursue passions, even if they're not getting paid, because
Yeah.
that is so
Uh,
fulfilling.
Yeah. And honestly, getting paid, I mean, you got to get paid for doing something. Hopefully you don't hate it,
Right.
but
Yeah.
it doesn't necessarily need to be like your main hobby, your main creative outlet. Um, but you just gotta love doing it, or else go find something else that tickles you.
Right. I mean, the argument could be too that say someone does hate their job and, it is drudgery, but they need it to pay bills and everything. If they have something that they are passionate about creating outside of work, that may just get them through, just
Right.
that is their escape from reality for that moment.
Yeah, the weekend warrior, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we talk a lot about weekend warriors and, our side little gig too. Just,
Hmm.
it's these little moments of creation can fill you up and bring you joy that can sustain you for a while. I mean, I know for me, if I get into, you know, uh, I'm inspired and motivated to work on a song, like I may spend every night for a week after my boys go down to set up mics and, record or go into MuseScore and try, scoring out some composition. I'm like up until, 12 or 1 at night and get up and go to work the next day. I'm like, it brings me back to my concert days of, staying out late, shooting, getting up. But it's like because you're pursuing a passion, it doesn't matter. You don't necessarily feel tired because you're like excited and filled.
I
I
mean,
mean, it all
you wouldn't do it if you didn't. really enjoy it. If it didn't give you something back in terms of energy and satisfaction,
Right.
think about something to tool on, how can I solve this thing? I mean, that's a great space, when you got a project and you're trying to work out solutions to something that are elegant or beautiful, whatever the medium is. It's worth it.
Yeah. Um, yeah, and I think, you know, you touched on it before where it's like, you have your seasons of inspiration and seasons of motivation, and sometimes seasons of neither, because you may have, put all your inspiration and motivation into a project, you finished it, and sometimes I think your body just needs to, rest and recover and,
Yeah.
take your mind off of what you just did. And, those are the nights I usually will me and the my wife will get into a TV show and we'll watch TV and or maybe pick up a book and read more. And it's like I think the non-creation moments are just as important, but I think ultimately it is important to pursue these little passions because like we've been talking about, it makes life interesting. It'll,
Yeah, man. It adds the seasoning to life.
yeah.
Um, like, yeah, I'm not passionate. I'm not inspired to date right now, but I'm motivated to not be lonely. So I have to use my motivation right now in this season instead of the
Right.
inspiration.
Hey, the
Yeah.
motivation will can breed inspiration too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, don't use the word breed because
Oh, I use that term.
all
Uh,
in the right order. Yeah.